Hi, I hope you're having a great day. Good morning. Well, today, part of our holistic living at home, we're going to talk about forgiveness and a simple technique on how we can master the art of forgiveness. Now, what I want everyone to understand before we start is that this may be more than 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, I don't want to be rushed for time over here. This is something extremely important. Everyone knows the importance of forgiveness, but let's face it right up front, it is one of the most difficult things to do. Everyone struggles with it. Very few people are lucky to be able to handle forgiveness like this and move on with their life. But the importance of it, I recognized the importance of this a couple of years ago when I had a lady come to me. She had an autoimmune condition. She had IBS, she had falling hair, her skin was dull, she had acne all over her face, and she had this constant burning in her stomach, constant burning. She was put on antacid, she did endoscopy, she had all of these issues, all of these procedures done, and the doctor said there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. We put her on a protocol, we did ajwain water, we did jira, we did pranayama, deep breathing, everything that falls under the holistic umbrella. She did Ayurveda, she did homeopathy and everything. So one fine day I sat her down and we spent about 45 minutes going over her entire life. And what we determined in that 45 minutes was unbelievable in terms of the abuse that she had gone through as a child. Okay, the letdown from her husband, the letdown from her own mother and father. When she had reported the abuse to them, they told her just forget about it, these things are absolutely normal. So she went through this entire life. She was aged 63 when she came to me, and she could not forgive anyone who had hurt her. Now today when I talk about forgiveness, I am not coming from a spiritual angle at all. I am coming from an angle of understanding that it is difficult, and also from an understanding that if we take certain measures, there are ways that we can overcome forgiveness, and when we do that, our health improves. So going back to that lady's story, we addressed these. I put her onto someone who could help her with the child abuse that she had gone through her life. And we worked on a simple meditation technique, a very simple one that you're going to learn today that changed her life. In 6 months, she came back without a single symptom. Is there magic in what we did? Absolutely not. She did one simple thing. She was able to work at forgiving the people who hurt her. Now today there are people who are abused as children, they're raped, they've gone through stuff which we don't even want to talk about. I'm not here to tell you that it is easy to forgive and that everyone must try to forgive all of these things. If you can, your life moves forward. Okay, there are a lot of people who have several people to forgive. Okay, you may not be able to forgive all of them, but you can start with 1, 2, 3, or 4. And if you can forgive 4 out of 10 people that you're unable to forgive, guess what? Your life is able to move forward. That heaviness from your heart is able to lift. So I want to be very practical about this. I'm not here to preach that go out and forgive, because there is suffering and pain that people have gone through where some of them, like I wouldn't know how to forgive a person. Let me put it that way. Okay, if my daughter went through physical abuse, if someone in my family got raped, I don't know how I would forgive. So I'm not here to preach about that. I'm here to help us understand what can we do. And the technique that that I talk about today are techniques that we've taught people for the last couple of years, and the results have been nothing short of phenomenal. This is not a technique that I've devised on my own. This is a technique that I've picked up on my own spiritual path and that we've learned to help people to practice, and lives have absolutely changed. So before we get into that technique, let's just understand a little bit about forgiveness. Okay, there are a couple of points, and like I said, this is not to take away from anyone's pain. Usually when we talk about these things, people, the first thing, the human defense mechanism is, but you don't know what I've gone through. But you don't know the pain and suffering that I've gone through. You don't know what he did to me. You don't know what she said to me. You don't know how let down I feel. I've done so much and yet this person did this. Yes, we understand that. What I'm talking about today is not to take away from your pain. It is what you can do. It is what you can do. And when we have that defense mechanism, at that point we need to understand that we put ourselves into a victim mode. We built a shell around us to protect us. We want to hold on to the right to be hurt. We want to hold on to the right to unforgive because someone else has hurt us so bad. Your point is valid. We're not taking away from that. Now the point is, what do you want to do about it? What can you do about it? Because there are several benefits of practicing forgiveness. Number one, it sets you free. What we need to understand, and we have so many couples coming into us and talking about us, there's only one thing that I see. The only person suffering at the end of the day is the person who is unable to forgive. When what happens is, if person A has hurt us, for example, okay, your person B and person A keeps hurting us. In most cases, person A doesn't even know that they've hurt you this much. They're living their life, they're happy, out, they're doing everything, but you, the hurt person, the victim, your entire life has come to a standstill. And the person who has hurt you has probably moved on with their life. So number one, it sets you free. Number two, it begins the healing process. Please understand, I want to read out this quote to you. Unforgiveness is classified today in the medical books as a disease. In fact, I love this quote of Dr. Stephen Standiford. He's the chief of surgery in the Cancer Treatment Centers of America. And he says this very clearly in his journal. Refusing to forgive makes people sick and keeps them that way. Healing is impossible. So we need to understand these. Like I said, I may be saying these things and you may be getting angry, but you don't understand my pain. Yes, I don't understand your pain. I'm here to talk to you about what you can do and how you can take this forward. If there's any one thing that I can share with you that may bring you a little bit of solace is, I see about 8 to 10 to 15 people every day, and almost 95% of them have issues with the inability to forgive. They have issues of being hurt, being betrayed, being belittled, being put down. These are real. Everyone, almost everyone is going through it. So then we have people who do something about it and people who do not want to do anything about it because they've gotten so used to their shell, the pain, the sympathy, the empathy that comes along with it, that they don't have an action plan to get them out of that. I'm over here to help you with a technique that if you use and it changes your life, I'm happy. If it doesn't change your life, it doesn't change your life. But we lose nothing by traveling. Okay, it helps you move forward with your life. Like I said, people who are stuck with unforgiveness cannot move forward with life. They cannot enjoy what life is giving them because they are so stuck in their hurt, they are so stuck in their pain that they fail to see everything good that's going on in their life. What we need to understand is that life is not perfect. You will get hurt, you will get betrayed. I hope you don't, but these things are going to happen. You may hurt someone, you may betray someone as well. So it works two ways. No one is perfect. Okay, life isn't perfect, life isn't fair. So these things are going to happen, and if they've happened, what is the technique that we can use? Okay, when you learn to forgive, you no longer give authority, someone else authority over your mind and your heart. By far, this is the most important thing. Okay, you are still controlled by the person who hurt you if you are unable to forgive them. So by learning to forgive, we take away that authority from people over our hearts and our minds. Like I said, people have moved on with their lives, but you are the one who is unable to forgive and you are the one who's suffering. Okay, you will find a peace of mind. Okay, you will find that you have the power to forgive. All of us have the power to forgive, depending how bad it was, but we have that power. It's not like we don't have that choice. It's not like we don't have that power. We have that power. And forgiveness is one of life's greatest teachers. That's all I can say. When you learn to forgive through a difficult situation, okay, you don't just let yourself free. You learn so many lessons that come with it. Okay? And finally, forgiveness gets us out of that victim mentality. You know, a lot of victim mentality, has things today to do with depression, unforgiveness, and all of these things. Yes, we are a victim. Okay, we are in a corner. We've been pushed into a corner. We are a victim. But are we going to stay a victim is the question. Or what can we do about it? Unfortunately or fortunately, the only person who can help yourself out of victim mode is you. No one else. Okay, you would have had 100 people telling you to forgive, to let go, to accept, and all of that stuff. Okay, there are people who can tell you, but the only person who can make that decision to put it into practice is you. Okay, so before we start with the technique, I want to drop a couple of lines to you to reflect. Okay, like I said, when I say these lines, it is not to take away from your pain or from your suffering. That is yours. We are not here to take away from it. We are not here to judge people. Okay, everyone has an intensity of suffering. What affects me very badly may not affect someone else. What affects someone else very badly may affect me. Okay, so everyone is different. We want to respect that. Everyone is unique. So I made a list of these points. Okay. Again, it is not to take away from your pain and suffering. The first one, when we find it difficult to forgive someone, Okay, we want to reflect on this question, okay? And we'll post these questions later. I'm sure some of my fans are going to post this either ways. What have we done wrong? Is there some side of us that we are refusing to see? We all have a blind side, okay? This does not take away or give someone else the right to misuse it and hurt you. But my point is, what are we refusing to see? What is our blind side? What have we done wrong in this particular situation? Maybe you haven't done anything wrong at all, but I'm saying in several aspects of life, sometimes we think we're perfect. Okay, it takes two hands to clap in almost every situation in life. I am not talking about rapes. I am not talking about child abuse. I am absolutely not talking about that. I am talking about everything over and beyond that. To be quite honest, if someone came to me with child abuse and rape, I don't know how I would console that person or what kind of advice I would give them. Okay, I'm not equipped to handle that. But I'm talking about everything else. Okay, let's look at the other side. What have we done wrong? So if something wrong, hypothetically, is going on in my life, someone's treating me a particular way, okay, I can be a victim. I can also think about, what am I doing to earn that? What am I doing to earn that disrespect? Okay, those mean words, those rude words that someone is saying to me. So that's the first step, reflection. Okay, the second thing is, when we find it difficult to forgive, ask yourself, have you ever made mistakes? Have you ever hurt someone? Have you ever betrayed someone? Are you perfect? Number one. If you are and you haven't, then you're a different person. But for everyone else, in your own thoughts and your own words and your actions, you may have done that. And if you have, okay, and you have been forgiven, okay, we need to be on that path for forgiveness as well. Okay, the next question that you ask yourself is, have you ever been forgiven for something else? And all of us have. From the time we were kids, we were forgiven by our parents for certain things, maybe by our teachers, maybe in our relationships. So before we get locked in victim mode, the question is, have we been forgiven? If we've been forgiven, we need to forgive others as well. I'm not saying you have to. This is a point of reflection, because when we reflect and we understand that, hey, yeah, okay, I can't tell you how many instances in my life I've been forgiven. So forgiveness comes very easily to me, because the first thing, if I'm struggling to forgive someone, and sometimes in life I have struggled to forgive someone, but what my reflection point is, hey, Luke, you've been forgiven so many times. Don't even think about it. You need to go out there and forgive. So just looking at the amount of times I've been forgiven, it makes it easy for me to forgive another person. Not instantly. It may take a week, it may take a month, but it makes it easy for me to do that. Okay? You are forgiven when you are able to forgive other people. And I keep trying to tell this to people. Almost every religion talks about forgiveness. Whether it's Islam, whether it's Christianity, whether it's the Vedas, it's the Upanishads, it is the Jews. Every religion talks about forgiveness. If you have been forgiven, we need to be on the path to try to forgive people. Like I said, this is not to take away from your pain and your suffering. So you are forgiven when you also forgive other people. A lot of people, when they come and they're unable to forgive other people, I ask them how clean their lives have been. And they talk about the things that they've done. And I say, you're still over here today. You've been forgiven. You need to make a chance to forgive other people as well. Now I want to read out this awesome statistic, okay, by a doctor and pastor, Dr. Michael Barry. He's a pastor and an author of a book called The Forgiveness Project. He talks about in his book, of all cancer patients, 61% of them have forgiveness issues or more. Okay, he writes 61%, but let me tell you, in our practice, okay, and today we have a whole team of doctors and nutritionists and clinical dietitians who see this on a daily basis. I would push that percentage up from 61% to almost 85%. I can't tell you how many people walk in to see us on a daily basis with deadly diseases, autoimmune conditions, and cancers. And when we break it down emotionally, they've had a great life, health-wise lifestyle, but they are stuck with resentment, unforgiveness, hate, and grudges. And only when we are able to break that through do we see a change in their health. Do we see how they respond positively to chemotherapy and radiation? Do they themselves come out and say, Luke, I know my problem and my cancer came when this deep hatred developed in my heart. And we have people like this every single day, and that's why we can speak with conviction the importance of emotional health, the importance of forgiveness when it comes to your disease. Okay, Dr. Michael Barry breaks it down further. Harboring these negative emotions, anger, unforgiveness, hatred, creates a state of chronic anxiety. And like we always talk about from the chronic anxiety, what does that do? It pushes up cortisol. It pushes up adrenaline, and it keeps it high. In turn, our NK cells, that is your killer cells, which are meant to break down cancer cells, which are meant to kill cancer cells, are completely depleted. So in our 1:30 video or our 2 o'clock video today, where we break down the beauty of the immune system, you're going to learn the function of NK cells and why we need them to even prevent cancer or heal cancer. So Dr. Michael Barry writes about this forgiveness, and he ends it by saying, the first step in learning to forgive is to realize how much we have been forgiven by the upper powers. You may call it God, you may call it the upper powers, you may call it the universal forces. So first, we want to reflect on these points and see how perfect we are. And if you are perfect and you haven't done anything and you're still hurt, you still need to get into the process of forgiveness. Now let's move straight into the process and technique of forgiveness. This is such a beautiful technique which has been tested over and over again, and we have people who I can see their names right now who have practiced this today and who have been set free. I'm going to send this to you. Learn it. Teach it. First, practice it. Before you teach, practice, practice, practice. See the effect it has on you, and then you go out and you teach your family, you teach your children, you teach people in your society, you teach everyone. When you teach them this technique and they come and say, hey, it worked for you, guess what? You're going to feel this sense of fulfillment, which is worth more than money, which is worth more than material things, because you've been able to bring a positive change to someone's life. And like I said, you can take this technique and teach people. I'm going to teach it to you right now. So if you have a pen and paper handy, you want to make a list of this, we'll post it as well. Okay, there are 5 words that we're going to focus on before we go into the technique. Okay, it works around a very simple technique of, number 1, the words that you write down is happy. Okay, may I be happy? May I be healthy? May I be abundant? May I be loved? May I be safe? 5 questions, write them down. As you practice them, you won't even have to look at this piece of paper. So the first one is, may I be happy? May I be healthy? May I be abundant? May I be loved? May I be safe? Okay, before we get into this technique, let's break this down. These are 5 powerful words that every human being craves for in their life. If you're working hard to get these 5 things in your life. Okay, if you're involved in a passion project, whatever it is that you're doing, you're studying hard, the 5 residuals of what you do in life revolves around happiness, health, abundance, love, and safety. Every human being is chasing that in some way or the other, consciously or unconsciously. So these are the first 5 words. Now, how do we center ourselves? How do you get into this? Okay, like when I start with may I be happy, okay, I want to think of a person or a thought that when my eyes close, when I say may I be happy, I just have to think of that person, a smile, a word, something that's happened in your life, a memory, and it leaves you with a warm feeling in your heart. When you have that warm feeling in your heart, you're ready to begin this meditation. So how do we get that warm feeling in our heart? I look at people today and I ask them, give me 3 things that you can think of instantly that brings a warm feeling in your heart. And people have to think really hard, okay? Because we're not always in life focusing on the things that make us feel good. Like I always tell people, they click insane amount of pictures on their cell phones. You know, they click sunsets and they miss the sunset. They click all of these things. I ask, how many of you go back and look at these pictures? Look at these moments that you've created on your phone, okay, and you feel warmth in your heart. Most of us don't even go back to our phones and look at these pictures. We need to reflect. You should always have a list of 3 things that you can write down, and the moment you think about it, you feel warmth in your heart. That's a magic list, okay? So how do we center ourselves? Centering ourselves is very simple. We sit with our back straight, okay, spine erect. You can sit cross-legged, you can sit in a chair, be comfortable. We take 6 deep breaths, an inhale and an exhale. As you inhale, you want to move air, you want to move oxygen into your belly. This is called diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing. So your tummy rises and then your chest, hold for a second, and then you exhale. So the air comes out of your lungs, your chest, and then your tummy. You do this 6 times at your own count. This centers you. This reconnects you with yourself, okay? 6 counts of this, 8 counts, it's up to you. You have your own centering technique, you can use that. So this is how you start. Your eyes closed, okay? Then May I be happy. This is in your mind, and you think of that little thing that brings a smile to your face or warmth into your heart. Okay, so you start with I. So may I be happy, may I be healthy. When you say may I be healthy, you're thinking, you're feeling good health in you. Then may I be abundant. Abundant is everything. Abundance in wealth, abundance in love, abundance in safety, abundance in health, abundance in, whatever it is that you want. Abundance is such a beautiful, powerful word. But when you say that, may I be abundant, you need to feel like you are abundant. You need to feel abundant. So if you have abundance in your life already, relate to that thought or memory so you feel it. If you don't, you visualize it, may I be abundant. Then may I be loved. This is a very, very powerful word. Okay, may I be loved. You think of people who love you deeply, you feel loved, whatever it is. And the last word is may I be safe. And when you say may I be safe, you have this feeling of peace in your heart because you know you are looked after. You know you are safe wherever you are. So that's the first thing. You center yourself by doing the may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be abundant, may I be loved, and may I be safe. Now, the second part of the meditation is may you be. Okay, so now may you be happy. Think of someone you really, really love. Okay, we're going to allow for two people over here. So we're going to do may you be happy. And you think of that person and you really wish happiness for them. May you be healthy. Do the same thing with feeling. May you be abundant. May you be loved. And may you be safe. Okay? So do it. Do it for the one person you love. Okay? So that's may I, may you. Now the third round is again, may you. Okay? Because there may be two people you love. It could be your kid. It could be your wife. It could be your husband. It could be your mom, your dad. Okay? You can keep changing it. So you get an opportunity to do it twice. Okay, may you be for the second person that you love. Now, so that's 3 counts done. The 4th count is where the healing starts. Okay, the person who has hurt you the most, the person that you are struggling to forgive. Okay, that person comes into your mind and you say, may you be happy, like you really mean it. May you be healthy. May you will be abundant. May you be loved. Now, when you come to this, may you be loved, you will find how your mind struggles to wish love for the person who has hurt you. When people do this meditation in front of me with their eyes closed, the next time I should get a video of it. You should see people's faces, how they cringe. You can see the difficulty in their jaw movement. Okay, they're struggling to get through this 4th phase. But this is where the healing starts. Okay, you are wishing happiness, health, abundance, love, and safety for the person who has caused you misery in your life. So it may be difficult. Sometimes people have tears coming down their eyes because they struggle to do it. Sometimes people have tears coming down in the first 2 rounds when you say it for you and when you say it for the first 2 people that you love as well. It's a very beautiful, deep meditation. So you get through point 4. And the 5th one is may everyone be happy. May everyone be healthy. May everyone be abundant. May everyone be loved. May everyone be safe. So this you can offer for the world, a group of people, your friends group, whatever you want. You use your mind. Your mind is the most powerful tool. You use it to create fantasies, dreams, and everything else. So you can use it for this simple meditation. Now you have to do this just once. You can do it early morning. You can do it just before you go to sleep. It's not going to change anything in the first 2 or 3 or 4 days of practice. By the 5th or the 6th or the 7th day, believe me, you are going to feel a difference even in the most difficult cases. The most difficult cases. How is it working? What is the magic in this? It is only rewiring your own brain patterns, your own mindsets about the person who has hurt you. You are letting them go by offering them something. Why do we offer gifts to people? And why do we feel happy to give gifts to people? Because it brings us happiness. So when we say bless you, when we offer peace to other people, it brings us happiness because we have hearts that are designed to give. That's why people who give, people who can genuinely give, are naturally happy people. But you have people who give with expectation that I gave you this, so I want this. They do things with expectation. They can never be happy. You can write out a check of $1 million to a charity and you can still feel unfulfilled because you gave it with the wrong intention. You gave it with the intention to show off. You gave it with the intention to cover up some of the sins that you've created in your life and all of that stuff. That's why you still feel unfulfilled. But when you are able to give these 5 emotions that you and every human on this planet craves for to someone else, you feel free. You are set free. You feel peaceful. And you need to do this with discipline and with practice. Like I said, that person. And you know you're getting better when you reach the 4th stage on the 4th day where you are easily able to say, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be abundant, may you be loved, may you be safe to the person who has hurt you. You find it's easier and easier, and then you know that you are on the journey of actually forgiving that person. So there are these 5 steps that you need to do. It is simple. It changes your life. Okay, not just the forgiveness part of it, but it changes your life, and that could become part of your morning. Like this in itself is a prayer by itself, because you are asking for this energy and you are giving it. Now, a few more points about forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean that person has to become your friend again. Forgiveness doesn't mean you have to hang out with that person or chill with that person. For me in life, it's very simple. I can forgive a person who's hurt me, but I never want to have to see that person again in my life. Okay, you've still forgiven that person, but you still never have to see that person. So please understand, forgiveness doesn't mean that you have to forgive that person and then be around that person and chill with that person and act as if nothing has happened. Forgiveness is the process of letting yourself let go of the pain. Okay, it doesn't mean you have to accept that person in your life again. So please don't mix these two things up. Forgiveness, the other person doesn't even need to know that you've forgiven them. It is for you, it is for your freedom, it is for your peace. So we should not confuse these things about forgiveness that, okay, I've forgiven them, now I need to go and tell them I've forgiven them. No, you don't have to do that. You just got to be honest with yourself and know that deep down in your heart, you were able to forgive them. And that is the beauty. Like I said, this is not to take away from your pain and suffering, but I am here to tell you that if you have grudges in you, if you have resentment in you, if you have hatred, anger, and unforgiveness to a person, it is impacting your health. If it is not impacting your health, it is impacting your joy and your peace, which in turn will impact your health. Okay, the human heart is designed to be free of all of this crap that we see constantly every single day and experience in our life. Like I said yesterday in one of my posts, we have so much more than our ancestors in terms of technology, money, wealth, cell phones to keep people closer in relationships. But we are at the highest when it comes to emotional disease, depression, unfulfillment, suicides, and all of that stuff. Something is heavily wrong. And we are not connected with our heart anymore. We are not connected with ourselves. Okay, we are connected with everything around us that has pulled us away from our heart. So if we are not connected, we cannot heal. That's when symptomatic drugs come in. Oh, you're depressed, here, take a pill that'll bring down your depression. You still can't heal because you're disconnected. Take the drug if you have to, but you have to work at reconnecting with yourself, because this whole you is a whole. It is connected. If it is getting disconnected by external circumstances, people's opinions, someone else, like in a relationship, if someone can define how you need to feel, okay, right then you know that you're in a big issue. You need to define how you feel. No one gets the right to define how you feel or how you live your life. You allow it to happen. So in a way, it is your fault. Okay, if you know who you are, okay, you really know who you are, and you can only really know who you are if you are connected with yourself. If you're disconnected, guess what? Everyone gets that option to define who you are. That, hey, Luke, you're like this. Oh, you're like this. You said this, you're like this, and stuff like that. But you don't give a shit about what people think when you are connected with you, because you know you more than anyone else, more than your mother, your father, your lover, your daughter, your son, your aunts, your uncles. Only you can know you. But most people don't even know who they are because they are so disconnected. Every day their mind is being molded by what they hear, what the kind of groups they socialize in, what they're seeing on Netflix. Their little spuddy soft minds are being molded, but they're disconnected. You can watch Netflix, you can socialize, you can be in as many groups as you want, but you are so connected, no one can define who you are but you. And that is what connection is. So sometimes we are so disconnected that we can't forgive. We don't know how to forgive because you can only forgive when you are connected with you. When you're in victim mode, you are disconnected from the self. You have to come out of victim mode. Yes, it happened to you. Yes, it shouldn't have happened to you. Yes, no one had the right to do that to you. We're all aware of that. Now, what do you do about it? What is your role in this? Okay, you can't sit back in that victim corner thinking that your life is going to change and someone is going to come and change your life for you. The ugly, bitter truth of life is we are all accountable and responsible for us. And we need to do whatever it takes to heal us, to take care of us. It is not the job of your partner to heal you. It is not the job of your parents to heal you. It is not your job to heal your children. Okay, we are tools. We are mechanisms to help that process. But finally, Everyone owns their journey in life, and everyone owns the responsibility of what is going on in their life and what they need to do going forward. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep. Practice this technique, okay? Deal with the mechanism in a very, very disciplined way. Start it in the morning. You may want to do it in the night. You may want to do it once a day, but do it for 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 days. And sometimes when the technique doesn't work, sometimes you got to ask God to help you to forgive. Okay, many instances in life, okay, you just ask for help. Okay, sometimes we as human beings think we can do everything. That's what the world has made us believe. You have technology that'll take care of this. You have medicine that'll take care of this. You have everything around you that'll take care of you, but yet we're such a helpless society today. So sometimes you got to look above and ask for help. Have a great day, everyone.